Okay, good morning students and welcome back to the class. So yesterday we were discussing about the fifth chapter, that is morphology of flowering plant. In that we discussed about the flower, and we were discussing a few technical terms regarding with related to the flower, and today we will learn still more words related to the flower. Okay, so based on the number of appendages, that is parts, that is either it is calyx, corolla, androecium or gynoecium, the flower are called as trimerous, tetramerous and pentamerous. Trimerous will be having three floral appendages, and tetramerous they are having four parts. Pentamerous they are having five floral appendages. So trimerous, tetramerous and pentamerous. Okay, based on the number of floral appendages or floral parts, the that is they are classified into trimerous, tetramerous and pentamerous. Okay, and based on the position of calyx, corolla and androecium with respect to the ovary. Okay, so based on the position of this calyx, corolla and androecium with respect to the ovary, that is a gynoecium, female reproductive part, the flowers are classified into hypogamous and perigamous and epigynous. Okay, so based on the position of calyx, corolla and androecium with respect to the ovary, the flowers are classified into hypogynous and perigynous and epigynous. Okay, let us understand one by one. Hypogynous, in case of hypogynous flower, what happens? The gynoecium will be at the highest position. Okay, and others are below the gynoecium. So such flowers are known as hypogynous, and here the ovary is said to be superior. Okay, and in case of this perigynous flowers, the gynoecium is in the center and other parts are at the same level. Okay, so in perigynous flower, the gynoecium is at the center and other parts are placed at the same level. Okay, that means the gynoecium and this androecium and calyx and corolla are on the same level. And in case of this epigynous flower, the margin of the thalamus, it grows upward and it encloses the ovary completely. So in case of this epigynous flower, what happens? The margin of the thalamus, it grows upward and it covers completely the ovary and it gets fused with it. Okay, so that is known as a epigynous flower, and here the ovary is said to be inferior one. Okay, and next, the flowers, based on the flowers with respect to the, in case of this calyx, whether sepals are united or free, they are said to be gamosepalous or polysepalous. In case of gamosepalous, what happens? The sepals are united, and in case of this polysepalous, the sepals are free. That means the outermost whorl of the flower is calyx, and the members of calyx are called as sepals. And if these sepals are united, they are said to be gamosepalous. And these, if sepals are free, and then the calyx is said to be polysepalous. Okay, likewise, this corolla, the corolla that is next to calyx, we have corolla whorl, and the members of these individual members of corolla are called as a petals, and if the petals are united, they are said to be gamopetalous, and if the petals are free, they are said to be polypetalous. Okay, and you see, if a flower contain both androecium and gynoecium, that means if a flower having both the male and female reproductive structures, that is androecium and gynoecium, and such flowers are called as a bisexual flowers. Okay. On the other hand, if a flower is having either only androecium or only gynoecium, such flowers are called as a unisexual flowers. Okay. So these are the few technical terms in case of a flower. Okay. So estimation, that is arrangements of petals and sepals in a flower is called as a estimation. Okay. So estimation, that means the arrangement of petals and sepals. We have learned that the flowers will be having sepals and petals. So based on their arrangement, these petals and sepals arrangement in a flower is said to be estivation. Okay, and there are different types of estivation, and first one is velvet. Okay, type. Velvet estivation, and the next one twisted, next one imbricate, and the next one vexillary. Okay, and so this is a velvet, and in case of twisted, this is a twisted, and next one imbricate, Okay. So this is a imbricate, and the next one vexillary. Okay. So, in case of velvet, in case of velvet, the sepals and petals they do not overlap. They are in contact only with the margin. You see, there is no overlapping. Okay, in case of a velvet. And next one is a twisted. One member of the sepals or petals it overlaps with the other one. You see here, it is overlapped by this one overlapped by this, and this is overlapped by this is overlapped by this. That is a twisted. So here in case of twisted, the sepals or petals they overlap on one another. Okay, and in case of imbricate, in case of this imbricate, one member out of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of 5, one member is completely inside. You see, this one is completely inside and overlapping by adjacent members, and one is completely outside. You see, this one is completely outside and other members are overlapping it. So that is a imbricate. One member of the sepal or petal is completely inside. You see, it is completely inside, and one member is completely outside, and other members are adjacent members are overlapping it. That is an imbricate. And in case of this vexillary, what happens? Okay. So the largest here, it overlaps the other two, these two, and these two in turn they overlap the other one. Out of 5 sepals or petals, the largest one, this is largest, it overlaps the other two, and these two in turn they overlap the other two. So this is seen in a vexillary estivation. So this is about the estivation, that is a arrangement of petals and sepals. Okay, and there are 4 types. One is velvet, where the members of the sepals they do not overlap, simply they come in contact with the margin. And twisted, here the one member of this sepals or petals it overlaps with other member. See, this is twisted. And in case of imbricate, one member is completely inside and other member is completely outside, and adjacent are overlapping with each other. And in vexillary, the largest sepal or petal is covers the other two, and these two in turn the covers the another one. So this is a vexillary estivation. Okay, with this we conclude here and continue tomorrow. Thank you.